The North Dakota State Investment Board, or SIB, is back in the news tonight, this time for continuing to invest our tax dollars in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's decision to cut oil production by 2 million barrels per day has caused President Joe Biden and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle to accuse the Saudi kingdom of hurting the global economy and aiding Russia by propping up the price of oil. U.S. lawmakers are considering various options to punish Saudi Arabia, including suspending arms sales, pulling out American troops, and suing Saudi Arabia for price fixing. Josh Menny reports that the State Investment Board is sending our legacy fund dollars to Saudi Arabia, something they've been doing since we began our investigation 2 years ago.
In our ongoing investigation, KX News has obtained new documents showing that the State Investment Board continues to invest our tax dollars in both the Saudi government and its government-owned oil company. Our request for international positions in the Legacy Fund, overseen by the SIB, current as of August 31st, 2022, shows $342,000 in the Saudi International Bond and $2.4 million invested in the Saudi Arabian Oil Co. Fargo attorney Luke Heck has been calling out our state's investments in Saudi Arabia since he started investigating the Legacy Fund 2.5 years ago.
It's absurd that we're invested in the Saudi Arabian holdings. Why are we investing in our competitors' oil and gas in the first place, let alone, frankly, an adversary's oil and gas at this juncture? I mean, they are helping Russia.
3 months ago, prior to President Joe Biden's trip to Saudi Arabia, KX News exposed that the SIB has invested millions of dollars in Saudi Arabia and other foreign competitors who directly compete with our own producers right here in North Dakota. But in the last 3 meetings of the SIB, this issue has not even been discussed.
Instead of making their own independent decisions, the elected officials, as it pertains to the Saudi Arabian investments, are likely relying on the money managers. Secondly, I get the sense that there isn't a whole lot of need for or a fire in their belly, as though there's concern that they're not going to get reelected or they're going to get not have a seat at the table the next investment board meeting if they don't get out of Saudi Arabia.
Many of our viewers will remember our investigation exposed that the State Investment Board had invested millions of our tax dollars in Vladimir Putin's government bonds and in Gazprom, its government-owned oil company. The information we uncovered led SIB Chair Lieutenant Governor Brent Sanford to divest our tax dollars from that country. North Dakota lost millions of dollars in those Russian investments. Heck questions whether options are being considered as it prepares for its meeting on October 28th.
The State Investment Board is aware that they have north of $2 million in Saudi Arabian oil alone. They're aware, I would sure as heck hope that they're aware, of Saudi Arabia cutting oil production by 2 million barrels and playing footsie with Russia.
We know where the public stands on investing the Legacy Fund internationally from a survey of likely voters during the last legislative session. By a 7-to-1 margin, voters said they wanted the Legacy Fund to be invested within North Dakota rather than outside of the state or internationally. For KX News, I'm Josh Menny.
KX News has reached out several times over the last 2.5 years about the ongoing investments in Saudi Arabia, as well as other foreign adversaries, and will continue to do so.